Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. If you are new here, my name is Paige Sechler. Hi, I'm happy to have you. I upload videos every Monday and Friday. Monday is usually lifestyle, whether it's fashion, beauty, finance, vlogs, literally anything lifestyle, and then every Friday I do upload a Faith Friday. So today is a very casual video. I'm just in a pullover. The girls are hanging out in their jerseys. Come here, Bean. Show them what you're wearing. Come here. Oh God. If you're new, you know that my girls make an appearance in basically every video. And today we are rooting for the Steelers. The day I'm pre-filming this is Steelers game day. That is why we're all in our Steelers attire. But this is my 6-month-old golden doodle, and this is little Lux. And she is also in her little Steelers jersey. So yeah, those are my girls. Those are my dogs. I just thought it was cute. I want to show you their little Steelers jerseys because how freaking cute is that? What? Am I not talking about you enough? So anyway, now that you have met the gang, today we are going to be talking about finances as a young adult. To start, let me give you guys like a little rundown on our situation, just because financial situations will vary pending every single person's situation. So I will tell you our life situation, that way you know where we're coming from. And then the pointers I will give you will kind of go for any situation. I kind of made them vague enough that whether you're a college student at a part-time job, you're a full-time, you know, a full-time employee, you have kids, you're a single parent, anything like that, these tips should work for you is what I tried to keep these tips for. So before we jump into the tips, let me give you a little rundown and kind of a little backstory on why I'm even making this video. So my husband Max and I get this question all the time from people in our day-to-day lives, people our age, adults, older than us, my clients, comments on social media, everything. People are always asking us like, how did you guys buy a house so young? Like, how are you doing this? You know, what did you do to save? What should I be doing so that I can buy a house? How are you managing your finances? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I guess we just live in a world today where people are just so open about that, and I love that in a sense, but also it's kind of uncomfortable because everybody has different financial situations, and that's the first thing you need to recognize. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's financial situation because it will vary for everybody and for every situation. So keep that in mind. Don't be too hard on yourself. But Max and I are both working full-time jobs. I'm a hairstylist. Max works in the laborers union. We are both 22. We just turned 22 this year. Well, 2020. I don't know exactly when you're seeing this video, but in 2020 we both turned 22. We bought our house when we were 21, and we bought it in July of 2020. So that's kind of the situation that we've got going on, that, you know, those things all affect our finances. Oh, and we do have debt. That's another thing, is we are working towards, you know, Dave Ramsey here, we're working towards being debt free with the exception of a mortgage, but like we do have some student debt left. We are, you know, we just paid off all of our credit cards. We have, both of us do have vehicle loans that we are working to pay down, but other than that, we do have our house. So that is something that we are working towards completely diminishing, is our debt, but we live in a world where debt is so prevalent. So that is something now that we are going to start taking seriously. When we first started out as a young married couple, and even just dating when we were living together, it was something that we didn't take as seriously as we do now. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So I have my little notebook here with my tips I want to give you on saving money as a young adult. And I want to start off before I get into the tips with this quote that I always keep in my mind, and I keep this in my mind in a sense of having faith in God is where this is coming from. And it is that money will never bring total happiness. It only will bring temporary comfort. And that is something to just always keep in mind in every financial situation, whether you're thriving or struggling. Money is only temporary happiness. Yeah, I mean, it's not, money isn't happiness. Money can buy happiness. Money can buy the vehicle you want. It can buy a big house. It can buy the clothes you want and the makeup you want. But once you have it, you're always going to want something more. So it's a temporary happiness. So that is just something to keep in mind. I always try to keep that quote in the back of my mind. Money will never buy total happiness. It will only bring temporary comfort. So with that being said, let's get into my tips here. I want to say I have about 6 tips-ish tips here. So, money saving habits for young adults. My first tip would be to save first. Make that the first thing that you do as soon as you get your paychecks. Just think of saving as another expense. You should prioritize your savings account as if you do your bills. So, you know, say you're trying to save, we'll just say $200 even. Like from your paycheck, you're saving 100, and from your spouse's paycheck, you're saving 100. It's awesome if you can save more, but we're gonna do simple. So prioritize it like a bill. I have a $100 bill a month to pay. He has a $100 bill a month to pay. Combined, we have a $200 a month bill to pay, and that bill goes into our savings. Just treat it like it's an expense, and then you have no excuse not to do it. That $200 every month, you know, say you get paid on a Friday, that Monday, this bill comes out for $200, and it's paid. That's it. It doesn't go anywhere. That money is like an expense. So just treat it that way. Don't treat it like a savings. My second tip would be to focus on your small financial goals first. So instead of like becoming overwhelmed, like I want to pay all my debt off. That's a huge goal. That is a massive goal for anybody of any age at this point. Start small. Start with saving 10%, especially if you are a part-time employee, like a student, if you're a single parent. Start with 10%. 10% is better than nothing. If you can save 10% of your paychecks, do that first. Once you're comfortable with treating that 10% of your paycheck like it's a bill, then bump it up to 20%. 20% of every paycheck goes to this bill kind of thing, goes to that savings account. And with that mindset of treating it like a bill, it's just a bill that's increasing in price, something that doesn't go away. So as you're saving, the goal you should have in mind not only should be that 10% to go up to 20%, it should be to save 3 months of your bills. So sit down one night and go through your checkbook, go through all of the accounts that you have. Something I do is I use Google Calendars. I'm going to show you mine here. I have them saved for the whole year. So I'm going to go to June 2021. If you look, sorry, I know there's a glare. All of the blue are our bills. For example, just because there are bills that can like be looked over. So I'm going to tell you a running list of the bills that we have that we had to get the total for each of these, add them up, and that's what we spend in a month on just bills. That's not fun money, that's not living expenses, that's not gas, that's not groceries, that's nothing. This is just bills. We've got a mortgage, we've got union dues, we have our sewage, we have our Armstrong, I have my student loans, Max's truck payment, one credit card payment which we actually just paid off, our trash, my Verizon bill, our Nationwide bill, our Penelec. Like we have a significant amount of bills. So make that whole list of your bills, add that total up, then add it again, then add it again. Okay? That is what your goal needs to be to save. So say you are spending $2,000 a month on bills. First off, you're gonna wanna save that 1 month of cushion. That's what we're gonna call it. Your 3-month cushion is what we're looking to save for. So you're gonna make a goal to get $2,000 in a savings account. After you hit that goal, your next goal is to make it $4,000. That's a 2-month cushion. After that, the goal is to get a 3-month cushion. So honestly, if it were me, I would make that goal to be an $8,000 goal. If it were me, I would make my 3-month cushion $8,000. If you're spending $2,000 a month on bills, my cushion I would want to be $8,000 for 3 months, because then that does cover your gas, it will cover your groceries, it will cover those extra emergency costs that could come up. So that's just kind of a way to break it down if you're new to saving money and creating, you know, financial goals. That's one of the first things that Max and I did. And I think it's important before you make a huge financial investment, whether you're at the point where you're trying to buy a car, where you are looking to buy a house, any big financial investment, I think it's important to hit that goal before you jump into that financial investment. So in our sake, Max and I wanted 6 months of our old bills from when we were renting saved in a savings account before we purchased a home, because some of that money would go for our closing costs, some of that money would go, just little things, like we wanted that cushion just in case, God forbid, something were to happen. We had that cushion, and I'm so glad that we did that. It not only taught us the disciplinary action of not saving and the joys of having that extra cushion, the comfortability of having that extra cushion, but it just really eased the whole situation into it. Or, you know, and then you prepare for a situation like my husband and I are in now. My husband is a laborer for the union, so he builds bridges and tunnels. Well, it's winter in PA right now, and he's laid off when I'm filming this video. He's not working. And so that's something that our cushion is for. You know, we try to prepare all year for him being laid off, but say we didn't prepare enough or an unexpected cost comes to say, you know, Lola needs fixed soon. That's going to be like $800. That's an unexpected cost, where if Max isn't working, maybe it's not in the budget that we had accorded for, but it needs done in this time frame. That's what your savings account can be for, emergencies. So this kind of leads me into my third tip, which is to plan your purchases. Basically, I just need you to sit down and see where your money is going. You know, look at last month's, you know, checkbook kind of thing, and pull up your bank statement for last month and see where your money is going. How much of it is going to your bills? How much of it is going to eating out? How much of it is going to the grocery store? How much of it is going to clothing? How much of it is going to just things? Like, see where your money is going, because if you are getting a ton of money a month, you're getting these paychecks every month, but then at the end of the month you're having nothing to show for it. You need to see where your money is going, and the best way to save your money is to know where it's going, because you can eliminate the unwanted things. You know, say you've got wasted subscriptions, say you are going to the bar every weekend and you're like, that's expensive, sis. Or say you are anything. I mean, you just need to know where your money's going to be able to save your money. And that also goes into my fourth tip, which is still allow yourself to spend. Once you have your cushion, your savings cushion, your 3-month savings cushion, once you hit that goal, don't completely restrict your life. I mean, oh my gosh, you will go crazy. Life is a balance beam. Life is all about just having a good balance, and it is about, you know, knowing your limits and knowing, you know, what you can do. And what part of knowing where your money is going is creating a balance beam of spending and saving. If you don't know where your money's going, you can easily spend too much. If you are trying to save, then you're not doing life. Having a number in a bank account isn't living, because you can't take it with you when you go. So you need that balance of having a good financial situation, having a good cushion, not needing to worry, but also still being able to live and have fun. Because a number in a bank account isn't any fun, because 9 times out of 10 you're not going to tell anybody that number, because it's between you and your partner, or just because it's just yours, or it's you and your partner. Those are the only 2 people that need to know that number. But you still have to have fun. You know, life is short, and you can't take your money with you when you go, so know where your money is going, but still allow yourself to spend. My 5th tip is that your mindset is everything when it comes to saving, especially as a young adult. I'm obviously speaking as a young adult. I feel like as like millennials and like Gen Zs, like we are just so in our own heads about everything. So like if your mindset is to save, we do it. Like it's just, I don't know if it's ingrained in us, I don't know what it is. There's something about setting that goal, and once you hit it, being able to check it off, that just like does something in our minds. So your mindset is everything. If you think, well, I don't need to save, who cares, blah, 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 that will show, and you won't save. Like your mindset on the situation is absolutely everything. It's that kind of like the keeping up with the Joneses. Like if you have that in your mind that you need to keep up with, you know, Joe Schmo down the road, or your friend is doing this and you need to keep up, your financial situation isn't the same as theirs. So you need to stop thinking that way. Stop thinking in a sense of comparison, and start thinking in a sense of, this is my situation, this is my goal. And my last tip would be to adjust and review your goals as needed. You know, so say your goal is to save that 3-month cushion. You hit that goal, you need to sit down with, you know, yourself in your notebook, or you and your spouse, and reevaluate those financial goals and say, okay, we hit this goal, what's our next goal? You need to adjust as needed. Or say, you know, you're trying to do that 3-month cushion and you lose your job. You need to adjust your goal. At that point, if you lose your job, you can't be saving 20% because you need to pay your bills with something. Like, it's okay to sit down and readjust and reevaluate per the life situations. That's the life, you know. That's kind of how the cookie crumbles. You just roll with the punches, because we can try to prepare and we can try to plan, but in the end, God's got a plan, and he, you know, is gonna do his thing, because that's, you know, that's what God does. And it's okay to just roll with the punches, but you need to reevaluate as the punches are coming. That was very cheesy, I'm sorry. That is what I have for you guys as far as saving money as young adults. I really hope it helped. I am in no way an expert in this situation. certain things that I have wasted my money on that I should have done differently, that in hindsight I wish I would have done differently, and that's why I put these kind of videos out, because it's things that I wish I would have known a little earlier on that I feel like I'm a little late to catching up to. I want you to know that there is never a bad time to start saving. Young adult, not even a teenager yet, or if you are in your 50s, whatever, there is never a bad time to start saving, because it is just that sense of comfort. Just know in your mind that it will not bring you complete happiness, that it is just a temporary thing that we have in life, that just gives us comfort and can make life a little easier for us. But money should not be what your world revolves around. It should not be keeping you up at night, because I can tell you that checking your bank account at 2 o'clock in the morning is not going to change the number in it. Just because you can't sleep, it's not going to change overnight. So just keep that in mind, that it's going to be okay. Finances are a huge thing in this day and age, because everything is so expensive. And just be smart with your money. I mean, we don't spend 40 hours a week working just to not know where it's going. So I guess that's what I want to just put out there for especially young adults, because it's so easy for us to not know what the heck we're doing, because in the end, we are just young adults. We are just learning. So if I can give you a little piece of advice and just help you out, if you could just take one little thing from this video, I just hope that it helps for you guys. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe down below. Check out my Instagram if you aren't already following. And if you subscribe down below, turn on that little bell and you will get notified every Monday and Friday when I upload. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope to see you next week. Mwah! I love you all. Goodbye.